¿Qué dice la gente? Es que vamos a empezar una vez porque en realidad... Uy. Ya estamos ganando con gol de Rafinha. Empecé el directo un poquito más tarde, la verdad.
They're so fluid in those forward areas. Lewandowski will just play up the middle and he'll stay width of the 18-yard box. Won't overexert himself into wide areas. He lets all those younger players and fresher legs around him. They can all do that.
Lewandowski, one of only 3 to hit the century of goals in the Champions League. He's on 107. Don't think he'll be rising higher than 3rd in the list. He's not going to catch Messi's 129, let alone Ronaldo's 140. Hall fouled by Lemmy.
Epa, muchachos, llegamos a los 1000 views. Mira, en este video.
Last week in Newcastle, it was as quiet as I'd seen Lamine Yamal. I thought Lewis Hall played really well against him on the night, but it's a different proposition already.
Well, Rafinha was saying that ball's rolling, take it again, and the referees agreed with him. Ramsdale looks to be making that Newcastle goalkeeping spot his own now. He's played second fiddle to Nick Pope for most of the season. Wonder if that means he leaps above him in the England international pecking order too. They're rivals for club and country. Play forward by Firmin, but cut out by Kieran Trippier. Don't think Joe Linton really wanted that there. Done well. Ramsdale finds Trippier. Ramsey. Shows good composure. Hall. Barnes holding his run. Hall will continue with his. Can he get it in early? He can. Anthony Elanga in on goal for Newcastle! And they're level! Absolute delirium up in the gods in Barcelona.
Brilliant, there's that high line. That's what Barcelona do. And that's how easy Newcastle managed to beat that. It's just whether Anthony Elanga is onside. Obviously it's being checked as we speak. It was a really good finish. Terrific work from Lewis Hall again. Watch Elanga in the middle of your screen. He's good. He's good. He's timed it perfectly. He's held his run. And then it's just about the finish. Juan Garcia, no chance with that one. He's already committed to his left and it's gone across his body. That's the perfect reply from Newcastle. Fabulous goal.
It's only his 2nd since joining from Nottingham Forest. The last one was kind of pointless. It was just the consolation goal in the League Cup in defeat at Manchester City. That one had gone. This one is very much still on. 1-1 last week, 1-1 this week with plenty of twists and turns to come. Well, that's shaken the place up.
Certainly has. Yeah. Really important for Newcastle to get themselves very quickly back in the game. Hansi Flick will be disappointed, but they started well, the visiting team, and they weren't fazed by the fact they've gone 1 down. Kept plugging away, playing their football. That's the first time we've seen Lewis Hall break forward, really. And was so effective. Great ball across as well.
Yeah, you could almost hear the Newcastle supporters screaming for Hall to play it early. He did. I bet there were a few, given how Elanga's career at Newcastle has been a slow-burning one so far. I bet there were 1 or 2, maybe 1 or 2,000 thinking he won't put it in. Yeah. He did brilliantly, didn't he?
Did great. Really good guy. He had plenty of time to think about that one as well. And sometimes time can be your enemy in those situations when you've got a lot of, or seemingly a lot of time to consider what you're going to do with it. But perfect finish from Anthony Elanga. That'll do his confidence the world of good. And that threat from Newcastle is going to be there all night long.
Here's Lamine Yamal, and he's been taken down by
Pero
Joe
cuando
Linton.
necesitas a Lamine Yamal, el carajo siempre aparece. Te lo
It's
juro.
going to be a booking for Joe Linton, so if Newcastle get it done, he won't be playing in the first leg of the quarter-final.
Yeah.
Won't be bothered about that just now.
No. Again, I just think because it's Lamine with the ball at his feet and he's gone beyond Joe Linton. He just drags him, knows full well what he's doing, knew instantly that he's going to get a card for that. If it's a Premier League game, he might well have just let the player go there. But that young man didn't want to let him run towards the edge of that box.
Jugada preparada, a ver qué hace el Barça.
On the ball.
O la va a tirar, porque si la tira no creo que la vaya a centrar en realidad. Uy, se la centró.
Chip. Newcastle have been beaten.
¡Gol!
Barcelona have their
¡Gol de Bernal otra vez! Y la centraron, qué bien. No sé si está offside Gerard Martín, pero qué bien Gerard Martín bajando la pelota. Bernal ahí definió como 9. Qué buen gol. Viste, jugada preparada. Me sorprendió que la centró y todo, porque con esos caballotes que tiene el Newcastle. Mar Bernal, de verdad. Dios mío, lo que juega. No, está offside. Y pensé al comienzo que le había cagado a Gerard Martín, pero Gerard Martín, qué bueno que es. El pase de Gerard Martín es perfecto.
Well, Andy, you told us there'd be early goals. 3 of them inside 18 minutes.
Incredible. That's a poor one to concede that for Newcastle. That's basics. Kieran Trippier there has got to stay with his runner. He's trying to hold a line when others are dropping. They weren't together in that moment.
Le sacaste un gol y una amarilla a Joelinton. ¿Sabes?
You know, when it happened live,
muy inteligente el Barça, la verdad. Y muy bien.
Looking at it again, you're absolutely right. What a wonderful lay across it was.
Perfect. Because he could have been tempted, guy there, to go for goal himself. He might well have scored anyway.
¿Por qué está calentando Araujo? ¿Quién está tocado?
Exactly the right thing. It looks like Ronald Araujo there warming up, I think.
¿Quién estará tocado?
Got a bit of a knock
Eric.
Barça, but going through his paces a bit there.
Fermin.
This football is beautiful.
Lewandowski. Having to battle
Bien,
for
Legua,
it.
bien, Legua.
He's battled plenty over the years.
Vale, lo que hacerlo.
It's a good, strong challenge from Jacob Ramsey to stop João Cancelo in his tracks. Elanga, Ramsey.
Creo que Eric García debe ser el que está tocado porque no lo veo ni presionando. Uy, casi la agarra. Uy, qué buena la presión. Qué bien juega el Barça. Qué bien juega este Barça. Y me cago en la puta que va a entrar Araujo. Me cago en todo.
Ronald Araujo coming on just 20 minutes in. Is it João Cancelo who's struggling? No, it's not.
Es Eric García.
It's Eric Garcia who was brought back into the team. And it must be an injury. He's moving okay.
Yeah.
Something untoward though.
Correct.
Que la día se lesiona a Eric García. Debe ser que yo creo que lo metieron también como que muy justico.
So another chance for Araujo, who can use his height and physical presence to good effect in both boxes. Not always the best, I don't think, 1v1s in those situations, but we'll see how he fares tonight.
Y le da la capitanía a Araujo. Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo.
Barcelona have the chance through Rafinha to test Newcastle once again.
Araujo me da un miedo. Ahorita pago lazo a Araujo. ¡Ay! Verga, Araujo. Casi.
onto it. I think he did get something and it was blocked.
Yeah, I think Malik Thiaw picked him up.
Super sub y tal.
Was always quickest across that near post. There you can see Malik Thiaw.
Rafinha, look how tight to the crowd he is as he whips in another one. It was the same idea and it's the same result.
Estamos ahí, estamos ahí.
Take three.
El que haya apostado por los corners hoy se va a hacer millonario.
Again, the
¡Uy,
same
Araujo!
This time Araujo got there with that extra split second to spare.
Does he get 3 times there across the front to that near post area? Joe Linton's not switched on. Yeah, that's his ball. He has to go and head that. Credit Araujo. Here's the goal. Clip to the far post. You can see there Gerard Martin onside. Dan Burn in the middle. Was always playing him
Qué
on.
bien Gerard Martín de verdad en este gol.
And then from there,
Bueno, el pase de Rafinha también es sexo puro.
not switched on, and it's a simple tap in.
Tonali.
Uy, Lamine. Dios, Lamine.
Lamine Yamal. Checks back the other way. Goes the full pirouette and finds Araujo.
Como la baja Lamine, se da la vuelta, la mantiene por lo menos.
That's kind of part of defending. He might have gone a little
Super falta,
than the
huevona.
rest. But it seemed to me that at the far post, Kieran Trippier, look, was not one of the biggest defenders.
Qué rico como suena el himno del Barça desde la grada. Barça, Barça, Barça.
Barcelona anthem.
Dale, legua.
The Camp Nou. 13th game back.
Mira cómo presiona Rafinha. Uy, cómo lo amo ese tipo.
With an extra 20,000 or so in for the first time. Bolstered by many thousands.
Pero maldita sea con Araujo. Si me lesionas a Cubarsí te voy a matar, huevón.
Yeah. Pau Kubasi and Araujo both going for the same ball. Yeah, it can be painful, that one.
Uy, si se pegó en la...
Araujo headed in.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy fall too for the 19-year-old Pau Kubasi.
Imbécil es Araujo, de verdad.
Well, there's El Presidente, Joan Laporta, who's going to be in that seat for another 5 years. Saw off his rival in the election, Victor Font, who had the support of former Barcelona player and manager Xavi, amongst others. Didn't work.
Y qué brutico que es Araujo, Dios mío. De verdad, es especialito.
We often say that football and politics don't go together. Well, in Barcelona, football and politics are one and the same. Football is life.
¿Qué coño está diciendo este tipo? ¿Qué coño tiene que ver política con qué?
Trippier. Martin gets up and finally out. Joe Linton. Chow to Burn. Paul. Immediately engaged by Lamine. Barnes. It's not a bad ball from Harvey Barnes. It forced Juan Garcia to leave his area. Now it bounces Pedri's way. Pedri's not actually been on the ball that much yet.
He hasn't. You're absolutely right.
Es verdad, Pedri no está tan participativo hoy. Pero bueno, lo vimos también el partido pasado. Yo creo que Pedri está un mamado. O está justico físicamente, la verdad. Oh, da.
Free kick. Foul on Elanga.
¿Qué pasó?
The referee's whistle is heard above the din once more. Trippier needs a bit of time. It's pretty needless from Jack.
Uy, de lo que se arriesgó ahí Cancelo, la verdad. Se pasó.
Kieran Trippier from taking that free kick. I think he's very lucky to get away with that and not potentially get a card.
Ramsdale to take the Newcastle free kick. See burn up there, and it's Araujo who wins the header. Lamine Yamal has played that straight to Lewis Hall. Now it's Harvey Barnes. Barnes gets it past Araujo, and Elanga has got another one for Newcastle. He's levelled it again. And Lamine Yamal is the player at fault for the goal.
Oh, incredible. Look, yeah. Astonishing start to this game. 2-2, we haven't played half an hour yet. Tremendous stuff once
Qué
more.
goles de mierda que nos hacen, ¿no?
So good at the top end of the field, he really is, and it's a tap-in this time for Anthony Elanga.
Muy fácil
What a game.
marcarnos a
And
nosotros.
look at this, Andy, the composure. The Newcastle players are not wildly celebrating.
No, certainly not.
Bueno, Araujo que se lo come cualquiera.
Lovely ball from Harvey Barnes. Lewis Hall can't quite get
Y
a foot on
Cancelo
it.
que no defiende.
Probably just as well, because it sold the goalkeeper a dummy, and Anthony Elanga's just got a tap in at the far post.
Barcelona 2, Newcastle United 2. Anthony Elanga in 28 minutes tonight at the Camp Nou
Fíjate, la
has
defensa
trebled his
de la
Newcastle
defensa
goals
es
tally.
gigante.
And they're coming again with Joe Linton. And that really did resonate with me. The business-like manner in which they went back to the halfway line. Elanga again, Gordon's in! But he couldn't wrap his foot fully around the ball to find the target.
Right. Hansi Flick wants a free kick. Not sure if that's Marc Bernal or João Cancelo. One of them actually down on the floor there. Oh, it's Pedri actually. No, I think Joe Linton's just strong there. I don't think he throws that elbow or anything like that. He just uses his strength to hold his position. Great chance, you know, because Anthony Gordon should do better with that. It's a brilliant ball in.
¿Qué le sacó amarilla?
It's a brilliant game to watch. What about the expense? Never mind the expense. You won't find a single Newcastle fan who doesn't think that 4 times as much wouldn't have been worth it right now.
Bro, es entrar Araujo y irse toda la mierda, maldita sea con Araujo.
Honestly, you scored some goals, but if you score 2 on this pitch, you've got every right to go berserk, haven't you? And Elanga didn't.
Brilliant. Maybe he's saving that guy for a winning one. Who knows?
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Barnes, Araujo just misjudged the flight a little bit. Barnes is on it. Hall's on it. Newcastle as a team are bang on it.
Es que sabes que es lo que tienen estos carajos. Un físico de cojones que nosotros no tenemos.
To my eye, there aren't a whole load of tactics going on from either team. This is just a football match.
It is. Both teams, when they get it, they're looking forward. Let's go and score a goal. That's exactly the mindset, and it's great to watch. It really is.
Hall. Nobody's going to chase that one. A moment of relative calm in the frenzy that we've seen in 31 minutes.
Peleala, peleala. Ay.
By Lewandowski. Really cool head there from Malik Chow. Ramsey.
Offside.
Through to Elanga.
Offside.
Gordon is the square ball option.
Offside.
Anthony Gordon misses. Saved by Garcia. Was the flag up anyway? Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think Anthony Elanga was just offside.
Está súper
when he
offside, yo no
received
entiendo
it.
por qué no la pitan y ya.
Yeah, that's a good call. Again, and I think there's enough daylight there for the official to actually put the flag up a little earlier. That's the mistake from Lamine. Gave it to Lewis Hall, who immediately fed Harvey Barnes. And Newcastle were back on level terms, but that threat from
¡Ey!
is there every time.
¡Tarjeta! ¿Qué puta es esa patada?
They look to get it wide.
¿Cómo no va a ser tarjeta?
Good honest battle that. Right decision though.
I think so too.
No, que right decision ni que right decision, mamá huevo, no está viendo la patada que le metió.
Lewandowski walks it off.
Fascination guy with this game. For Newcastle to be at their best and feeding those front three, they've also got to squeeze towards the halfway line when they can, like they are now. That then gives you a chance to get your wide men involved a little better. That's a good pass from Joe Linton. But of course, we know that Barcelona want to squeeze and hit the halfway line with their back four when they have the ball.
Bien, 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 bien. Dale para arriba, bien. A la min. La madre, pero es que ¿por qué se la da más difícil?
Elanga getting better with every performance in black and white stripes. Hall turns.
Brilliant.
Elanga plays it across and it's cleared away with Barnes and two or three others waiting behind.
Yeah, did he need to
Fermín, ¿por
back?
qué?
If he goes across the 6
¿Por
yard
qué?
box, Anthony Gordon has a tap in. Brilliant play again from Newcastle. As we see, Fermín Lopez grabbing Joe Linton this time. But I think Newcastle have been tremendous, going behind twice and getting back on level terms the way they have, and really looking dangerous. And I think starting to believe with every minute that passes now that they really can create more chances.
Huge underdogs pre-match.
Bro, sí. No entiendo por qué se nos hace tan difícil el Newcastle.
Would make the difference, or at least put Barcelona well in the driving seat, but 34 minutes tonight have shown us that this is anybody's tie. Barnes. That's a really good ball. Joan Garcia, though.
Gracias, Joan.
Watching it all the way. Made sure it was his.
Llega, llega. Ay.
Race is on here and Tonali gets there ahead of João Cancelo.
Terrific play, Sandro Tonali there. He's so quick across the ground and saw that run of Cancelo, stepped in and dealt with that whilst the centre halves were coming back from that free kick.
Just remembering Eddie Howe's words before the first leg when he said, it's an opportunity to grab a moment we may never get again. We don't want to kick ourselves and think, what if? Same words have applied again tonight.
Look at that back four, the Newcastle back four guy now. Look how close they're trying to squeeze. They don't want to drop away and then give the space for those clever ball players to operate in. So they're holding that line, just making
falta, pero pues sacarle una tarjetica.
Barnes catches the boot of Lamine Yamal. Played the ball first.
Amarilla.
Follow through took him.
No, pero me da una rechera de verdad que estén pariendo tanto, te lo juro.
Ramsey.
Goles más tonto. Lo que pasa es que, Diegazo, metieron a Araujo. Eso fue lo que pasó. Mira, ya no van a hacer otro. ¿Cómo lo vamos a jugar? Sí. Te lo juro, es entrar a Araujo y tirar todo el partido a la mierda. Dásela.
Rafinha.
¿Qué hace Bellingham reaccionando un partido del Barça?
Araujo slows things down. Not many have done that tonight.
Yeah, just thinking exactly the same.
¿Qué?
Take a breath, guys, while you can, because it's going to be full throttle again in a moment.
Mira, Araujo te lo juro que... Araujo hay que matarlo.
Lamine Yamal Sold short by the pass of Fermin.
No vale. ¿Qué trago? Yo no veo.
Ramsey.
Mira, ¿te quieres unir a un Discord?
Elanga burst between two. João Cancelo got a hold of him. Anthony Gordon asked the question as Elanga rolls around.
Well, it's got to be checked. Yep, the referee's saying there it's got to be checked. He immediately signalled no.
Has Elanga just run across the front? Or
Nice.
is it the pull on the shoulder? Is that the telling factor?
I personally don't see enough there. I don't see enough there. I don't. I know he put his hand on his shoulder, but I don't think
No me
there's
parece
enough
eso penal
contact
tampoco.
personally. But it's going to be looked at this with interest.
One of those maybe that stays with the referee's on-field call.
Dale pues. Tienes la Play, marico, que estoy jugando. Tienes Play, vamos a jugar. Yo no he jugado Play hace como 1000 años.
Heels there, but that definitely didn't happen.
Yeah, the check's over.
¿Para qué coño va a ser penal esa mierda?
Elanga has been so good, and he's a constant menace down that right side.
He's got better and better as the season's progressed, particularly over the last month or so. I think you can say the same about Jacob Ramsey, who's now a regular starter. Burn
Yo lo único que pido es no irnos a prórroga porque, huevón, no aguantamos. ¿Qué puta fue ese paso?
A boot forward that Hall has been unable to find a teammate with.
Coño, sí, marico, le remontaron al bodo, qué beta.
I think Eddie Howe will be very pleased with what he's
Bueno,
seen.
vamos a jugar, pues vamos a
He knows
Play.
Barça can score in a split second too. That's the nature of what they are and how they play. But
Puta, pero es que no, son pura gente de este, o sea, qué desastre. Después del segundo gol, el Barcelona termina perdiendo la posición completamente y la posición. Olvida lo que se va Rafa, se va Rafa. Lewandowski, marico.
what a block.
Para la MLS, ya Lewandowski está para la joda. Para la caimanera. Para eso es lo que está.
Looking for a foul that doesn't exist. What a block. What a block that is from Dan Burn. Giant of a man, and those
Está para invitarlo para jugar los domingos.
They had to be.
Ramsdale's not going to get to it, but the referee's whistle comes to his aid as Araujo says, well, what did I do wrong there? Free kick for
Marico,
Newcastle.
mira, yo al comienzo de la temporada pensaba que podríamos ganar la Champions, pero viendo el equipo, hasta que no fichemos un delantero centro va a ser imposible. Verga, tus delanteros centros son Lewandowski de 40 años y Ferran Torres. Que no importa si Ferran Torres la edad que tenga, es Ferran Torres. O sea, Ferran Torres no lo puedes ni invitar para los partidos los domingos, pues. Ni para caimanera, ni para jugar una caimanera en el IDEA, puedes invitarlo. Uy, se la comió. Lamine toca la puta pelota.
Such a difficult game, guy, to get control of.
También tengo que decir que Cubarsí y Gerard Martín juegan burda.
Barcelona in that respect. It's just when it seems the team is getting on top with the ball at their feet, they give it away and concede a goal. It's that sort of night.
No, bueno, pero es que le caen todas. Gracias, Fermín. Al fin mete presión.
Magical mayhem.
Pásala.
Tonali into the challenge. Pedri has it now. If anybody can control the game and a ball, it's him. And he's being held onto by Tonali for the free kick. Hear that Newcastle voice? Eddie Howe faced the ball all together, directing from the sideline.
Métela, 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 métela.
Some time and room.
No, vale, Lewandowski, te lo juro. No puedo más contigo, bro. Nada más porque no quiero ver a Ferran en la cancha. Prefiero que esté Lewandowski. Uy, me tenga Ferran y apago la televisión. Coño, la verdad nos daría más, ¿oíste? J. Jordi, te aseguro que es más 9 que Ferran Torres. Bien, Fermín. ¡Ey! ¡Hermano, cómo se nos falta! ¡Qué terrible arbitraje de mierda! Que coma mierda. No, cállate la boca, que... mira este loco. Valverde lleva 6 goles esta temporada y vas a decir tú que Valverde es el papá de los helados. Lo querían afuera hace 3 partidos, querían que votaran a Valverde. Y ahora es el mejor mediocampista del mundo. Chale, bolas tú. Mar Bernal es más que él. Es más, Mar Bernal tiene los mismos goles que Valverde. Y es su segunda temporada profesional. ¡Bien, Cancelo! No, Lewandowski. De verdad. Y repito, sin delantero no se puede hacer nada. Lamine también se va a poner como un niñato de mierda, weón. Deja de quejarte y corre, cabrón. Ahora Cubarcico de amarilla.
19 years old, Bernal 18, Lamine Yamal 18. Just going to make the point earlier, Andy, that it's the joy of Barcelona, it's the future of Barcelona, it's a wonderful thing to behold. But maybe it could be, in terms of trophy gathering right now, a bit of their undoing as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're still learning.
They are. There are a lot of very good teams left in this competition.
No, Tonali, salte pues, cabrón. Bueno, perderé tiempo. 8 minutos. No, no, 3. Iba a decir, no, wow, no. 8 minutos en el en la primera parte, no, buena locura. Bueno, lo está agarrando.
Burn, an extra forward again, trying to knock it down and into the box. Whenever he goes forward, Tonali dutifully drops back. Ramsdale goes for distance and looks for Barnes. Back heel this time from Lamine Yamal was a successful one.
Bien, Lamine.
Now watch him go away from Joelinton. Up towards
Bien.
Lewandowski, who finds Rafinha. Ramsdale can only parry.
¡Ay, Lamine! ¿Qué coño, Lewandowski? No puedo con Lewandowski, se convirtió en Ferran Torres hoy. Lewandowski, Ferran Torres. Lewandowski, Ferran Torres y no sé qué coño hizo Lamine Yamal. Creo que porque se atraviesa Lewandowski. Pero maldita sea con Lamine, maldita sea con Ferran, Lewandowski. Pero maldito Ferran también. Porque es que ya sé que lo van a meter, marico. Por eso es que me da rechera.
Skips away that ball into Lewandowski, and then one more to Rafinha, stinging drive that Ramsdale fumbles, and how he knocks that one over from there. That is a huge let-off.
They were ready to go behind that goal.
¿Cómo falla eso?
Maybe Joelinton just
¿Cómo falla eso Lamine Yamal?
Don't know if he got anything. I just think he made him just stretch and take it at the wrong split second.
Yeah, maybe.
1 minute of the 3 added to go. Barnes. Football and player. Free kick Barcelona. Jason Tindall, Eddie Howe's assistant, with a shout of ref. I don't know if Francois Letessier is aware of Mr. Tindall's work, but he'll get a lot of that. Araujo. That's beaten Hall. Played across.
¡Penalazo! ¡Penalazo!
He's been fouled by Trippier.
¡Penalazo! ¡Lo está agarrando clarísimo!
But they're all asking the question, where's the check? What's happening?
¡Penalazo!
He does. He grabs his arm. He certainly does. He just
¡Penalazo!
split second there, Kieran Trippier. And then once he saw Rafinha go beyond him, he's grabbed him.
¡Es un penalazo! ¡Un penalazo!
I think this is going to be a penalty.
¡Es
I
un
think it's right as well.
penalazo!
It's not good defending again, that from Trippier, I've got to say. He hasn't switched on quick enough. Look, and he's grabbed him there. As soon as the referee sees that, I think there's only one outcome.
Surely. Bram van Driesche, Belgian official, is the VAR.
Yeah, here we go.
He's told Francois Letessier.
Claro, es un penalazo. Como para novela. O sea, un penalazo como una casa.
There'll be plenty on the field who don't know what he did. He does.
There'll only be one outcome here, Guy. Once that freeze frame is shown on this grabbing of his arm right there. Yeah. I don't think there's any other outcome that the referee can possibly give it. He's got to try and consider would he have got there. I agree with you. I think he would have.
And there is a yellow card. Is it Jason Tindall? Is it Eddie Howe? It's certainly one member of the Newcastle coaching staff interfering with the VAR process. You can't do that.
Does he get on the end of that cross? Does he make it? Difficult to say.
Here we go.
¡Vamos! ¡Dale! Penal, vamos.
Worse than a yellow card?
Well, does he deny an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? No attempt to play the ball.
No attempt to play the ball at all there.
So double jeopardy doesn't come into it.
No, it certainly doesn't.
Maybe Newcastle are fortunate that it's just the penalty. Rafinha was in no doubt, and deep down Kieran Trippier wasn't either.
What a 45 minutes we've had. What a game.
Uy,
Well,
Rafinha tenía
Rafinha
mucho
wasn't
aura.
on the field at the end last week when Barcelona got the last kick of the game penalty that Lamine Yamal converted for 1-1. But it is Rafinha's job when he plays.
Ay, Lamine, me cago en la puta.
Oh, hang on a minute, he's passed the ball to Lamine.
Oh, ¿por qué Rafinha si ya tenía la
I thought that was going to
pelota?
be Rafinha's. 2 of his 3 were pens at the weekend.
¡Au!
But Lamine Yamal
Ponte
got
la
the job
corona,
done in
Lamine, no la
Newcastle
cagues.
last week, so it's his turn again.
Rézale, Araujo, rézale a los judíos, rézale. ¡Vamos! ¡Gol! ¡Lamine fucking Yamal, cabrones! ¡Vamos!
Perfectly put away, and Barcelona will go into half-time in front after all.
He gets the right way, Aaron Ramsdale.
Qué buen partido, ¿ah? Qué buenos partidos da el Barcelona en la
Just for a split
Champions.
second there. Lamine Yamal's heart would have been in his mouth, but it's hit hard enough and tucked away enough to beat the Newcastle goalkeeper, and yeah, Barca do have the lead. What a 45 minutes we've seen here tonight at the Camp Nou. It's been incredible.
Bueno, pero cabrón, este es un gol de verdad. No esté bailando cuando mete un penal. A mí no me gusta esa mierda.
This is incredible to think. Lamine Yamal's first Champions League knockout game on this pitch. Made it look as though he's played 100.
Oh, so close to getting that as well, Ramsdale. Gets fingertips to it. If he goes with one hand, might have got it.
Can't lift the arms high enough. The power was what did for him. What a talent. What a story he is. What a game we're witnessing in Barcelona. Newcastle
partidazos está jugando este.
But that feels like a big moment at the end of the half.
Qué fucking partidazo de fútbol hoy.
It's Barcelona 3, Newcastle 2.
This match is brought to you by Bet365, UEFA Champions League official partner.
Oiga, ojalá estuviese en Barcelona, chico.
Hello?
Whoa. Mama Gorgon 85 lives here?
Yep, that's my mom.
The absolute legend who went from gaming on her phone to ruthless online streaming slayer with no mercy for any living thing is your mom?
Hey guys, apples with peanut butter?
How is this possible?
With AT&T wireless and home internet.
Mucha.
Text me if you need anything.
Level up your connection with AT&T wireless and home internet, now available across the nation.
No, she's so nice in real life.
The 3 for me, only at Chili's. Still can't be beat with the big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's. This Chili's 3 for me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
She's still up.
A ver qué dice Twitter.
It's a lot closer.
Cambiar aquí. Pácata. Tácata. ¿Qué dice Twitter? A ver. Aura. Momento exacto en el que casi sufro un infarto, literal. Me echo caca cuando se escucha al portero tocar el balón. No me escondo. Es verdad, eso también de repente podría ser roja, porque si te pones a ver, es una... O sea, si no lo agarra, mete el gol. Literal. Este es mi mayor miedo del partido de este pana. Ah, coño, es que está pegado. Es que cuando yo estoy mostrando ahorita no se está viendo nada. Ahora sí. Este es mi mayor miedo, marico. Yo mirando la alternativa de Lewandowski en el banquillo. La concha de su madre. Si esa jugada que hace Kilamin, que la pierde y termina en gol de ellos, es una mierda. No entendí por qué hizo eso. Literal. Yo cuando entró Araujo.
confident.
Como se da la vuelta a la también es una locura, la verdad. A ver, ¿qué más dicen por ahí? ¿Por qué? Es verdad, ahora que me puedo pensar, es verdad. Si porque a este le sacan roja si va para adentro y esto también va para adentro. Interesante, interesante. Con lo mal que lo pasaste los primeros años, ¿cómo te lo mereces, Rafa? ¿Qué me dicen por aquí? Desprende este mamón y nos clasifica a cuarto de final. Muchas risas, ahora quedamos 3-2, pero es imposible ganar una Champions teniendo que marcar 5 goles por eliminatoria y menos con Lewa y Ferran de 9, literalmente. Eso es lo que yo también estoy pensando, es que, mira, si no tenemos un delantero, es casi imposible ganar. Sin delantero y con una defensa tan frágil, uff. Literal. Este está bueno, este está bueno. Lamine Yamal, Araujo y yo Cancelo en el segundo gol.
Qué pena. Qué pena. Hostia, qué pena. Bueno. Qué golazo, qué golazo. Qué golazo. Muy bien, lo han hecho muy bien. Lo han hecho muy bien. Lo han hecho muy bien, lo han hecho muy bien. Son muy buenos, joder.
No, bueno, cabrón. Literal. Bueno, pero ajá. De todas maneras, aquí se cae este por la que le hace Lamine.
دارجة كورة لبرشلونة ما يقبلش وممكن يسجل يعطي باس في كورة.
Pero es que también te digo, ese pase de Rafinha aquí es muy malo. Es muy suave, le da mucho tiempo al central a llegar. Mira cuando ya le va a pegar a Lewandowski. ¿Qué quieres que haga? Mira dónde está el jugador del Newcastle y mira dónde está Lewandowski. Ahí, o sea, es imposible meter gol. El pase de Rafinha es terrible. Rafinha ahí era para seguir abriéndose más para la derecha, para abrirle más espacio a Lewandowski, o llevársela al mismo, pues, a amagarle que va a hacer el pase y después pegarle, yo qué sé. Pero ese pase sí es suave, la caga. Y hasta Lewandowski se lo dice. Ahí no lo muestro, pues, pero Lewandowski se lo dice. Mal ahí Lewandowski también, bueno, no lo metió, pero Rafinha la caga con el pase, desde mi punto de vista. Literal. recibe. Se me ha olvidado de enseñar el fuego. Sí, para, es que en el segundo gol también es que Araujo es muy malo.
Creo que ha vuelto hecho.
وحده ويحط الكرة إلى أنجا الثاني المراوغة السهلة أراوخو
que lo Araujo. Sin palabras. ¿Qué carajo? Ok, tengo que salir de aquí. Este fauno es un loco. Bueno, ya empezó el partido, supongo. Ya me quedé pegado viendo eso.
I wonder why they call it a support beam.
I don't know, but it tastes load-bearing.
Ugh, an organ pro? That's it. I'll never eat here again.
Nope, 1 star. Organ, the best in pests.
Mala mía, gente. Todavía no va a empezar todavía. Pero antes que nada, solamente ofrecerse tiene un nivel.
Ade, enhorabuena por la Copa África, simplemente.
Muchas gracias.
¿Cómo la habéis vivido?
¿Y qué?
Ganar la Copa África.
Muy bien. Adiós.
¿Cómo te enteraste?
¿Está contento, no?
No me acuerdo.
¿Qué te han dicho los compañeros?
Enhorabuena.
Este dicho un imbécil de pana. Menos mal que es futbolista. Si no, estaría muerto de hambre. Como yo. Nah. ¿Qué coño está pidiendo el penal de qué? Todo Borio, Busquets. Dios, nada más uno de aquí se salvó. Ajá, ahora sí va a empezar.
This match is brought to you by Bet365, UEFA Champions League official partner.
Porque
we're almost ready to go for the second half between Barcelona and Newcastle at the new camp. 3-2 in the game, 4-3 on aggregate. To pull clear, or do we see the same kind of really tight game that we saw?
I think we see the same tight game until the subs come on. It feels like a moment for Marcus Rashford, if I'm being totally honest. This game begins to get stretched and take Lewandowski off, and then the pace of Rashford can really hurt this Newcastle backline. But I agree, if Malik Chow continues to play the way he is, he will give Barcelona another two goals. Newcastle attacking-wise have been great. But the
absolute cracker. It's time to hand back to your match commentators, Guy Mowbray and Andy Townsend, for the second half. We'll see it full time.
Unlucky to go in at the break, a goal down. Or lucky,
Merhuevo.
Kieran Trippier only
Sacaron a
got a
Trippier,
yellow
el que
card
estaba
rather
tripping.
than a red, which has enabled Newcastle to make this change.
Sacaron el tripping.
Tino Livramento is on for him.
I think that's sensible, that from Eddie Howe, I really do. As I think any indiscretion from Kieran Trippier, and he would have had another yellow and would have been making the long walk, which would dramatically alter what we're about to witness.
By the laws of the game, Andy, he really should have been sent off.
I think so. I think so. It wasn't a genuine challenge, an attempt to play the ball. He's grabbed his man, penalty given. I think the only thing that saved him was just whether or not they couldn't quite decide absolutely if Rafinha was going to get on the end of it.
Y empieza esta mierda.
Away we go then. Barcelona 3, Newcastle 2. 4-3 to the team that sits on top of La Liga overall in the tie. Barcelona have twice come back tonight, and they will back themselves to do so again.
Yeah. I'd love to have been the fly on the wall in those dressing rooms at half-time to hear what was said, because it was such a great watch, that first 45 minutes, but very difficult to analyse, I should think, for the coaching staff. I mentioned about the craziness of the game. It's what makes it so watchable, but it can be difficult for coaches to sit there and witness it because they're not seeing their teams playing with any real control.
Just to bring you up to speed admin-wise as well, Trippier's gone off, he'd been booked. Joelinton is on a booking, and so is Pau Kubasi for Barcelona. Also one member each of the coaching staff booked. I think it was Marcus Sorg and Jason Tindall. Barcelona will hope for a more settled half. There's Fermin. Joelinton collects the header down and finds Livramento. It's going to be a ball that João Cancelo can keep in. Pedri. Bernal returns it. Lamine Yamal. Martin.
¿Por qué para allá otra vez, huevón? Cámbiala.
Won by Joelinton. Hall keeps it away from Lamine and then sidesteps the next challenge brilliantly. Got around Martin.
Great play from Lewis Hall. Actually, Anthony Gordon was in a good position there, but he tried to switch it out to Elanga. That allowed Barca just to recover.
It's the calmest football we've seen all evening, this.
It is, yeah. That's what I love about this game tonight, is it has those rise and falls, doesn't it? When it's really flying, it's so watchable, and then everyone gets a collective breather in these sort of moments and get ready to go again.
No, Barcelona está jugando inteligente. Estamos ganando y
Is
estamos la pelota.
Newcastle's best chance, though, for chaos theory to reign once more?
Yes, I think there's something in that. I do. Certainly, I think Newcastle have to strike next. I think if Barcelona do, it may well get away for the visitors.
Is that strike about to come? It's Fermin, supported by Araujo. And the pullback deflects to Rafinha.
Qué bueno Rafinha.
Ramsdale repels it. Barcelona are hunting. Pedri. Yamal taking on Barnes with Hall covering. He's going to beat the pair of them. And clipping across towards Rafinha. Elanga completes the clearance.
Pégale,
No, he doesn't. He's coming straight back. João Cancelo. Lewandowski.
Ay.
That was Rafinha who actually made a bit of a mess of the finish.
Great passage of play from Barcelona, that mesmerising footwork from Lamine Yamal. Before it eventually comes to Lewandowski. Actually, Rafinha on his left foot should do better with that. But brilliant play over on that right side.
Too much on that.
Queremos otro golcito de Rafinha.
Ramsdale acknowledges his error. Pedri.
Mira Rafinha, míralo Rafinha, míralo Rafinha, míralo Rafinha, míralo Rafinha.
It's likely to be Atletico Madrid for the winners in the quarterfinals. They have a 3-goal lead on Spurs in their quarterfinal after the first leg. Tonali. Barnes. Hall. Those two have developed a really good understanding now. Newcastle's left. Pitched away from Hall that time.
Bien, Pedri. Pedri muy bueno.
João Cancelo.
Qué buena pelota de Rafa. Qué golazo. Qué pelota de Rafinha, hermano. Qué golazo. No sé quién es el que le mete la pelota a Rafinha, pero el pase de Rafinha, brother. Que lo que juega ese tipo, de verdad. Ha participado en todos los goles.
He was desperately looking for a flag, and it didn't happen. Obviously, the goal will be checked, potential offside will be checked, but it looked good. And it's a clinical strike from Barça to give them that all-important cushion that they need.
Pase de Gerard Martín.
Newcastle got to gamble, they've got to play high.
Que pase de Rafinha.
Sumptuous touches like that.
Wonderful.
Lamine Yamal,
y qué buena definición. Que muy
playing in. Fermin
Gol de
Lopez, who's
sexto.
only 22 himself. The finish of a veteran, the finish of a player who's in control of all that he does. And Barcelona now are in control of the tie.
Yeah. That's classic Barcelona, that, isn't it? Really is so devastating. The way that whole move was constructed. The finish is beautiful. The timing of the run is perfection. And now Newcastle genuinely have got mountains to climb.
Cool. 4-2 Barcelona on the night, 5-3 on aggregate.
Que fucking pase de Cubarsí, brother.
Rafinha has got a head start on the other side. Tonali does well to get back at Fermin this time, but it's going to be a corner.
He does great there.
Mira, porque Tonali le gana en físico a Fermín, pero el pase que mete Cubarsí ahí.
He urges the crowd to keep the noise levels high. Great challenge from Sandro Tonali. Just a whisker, but a really well-timed one.
Centre stage on the greatest stage. And Tonali has hurt his left thigh, it seems, in getting something on that, having to stretch everything. Nick Voltemada is the player warming up. No, he's not the only one. Jacob Murphy's there too. In fact, a whole load of Newcastle subs getting themselves ready. As the thousands of the Toon Army watch on from on high. Big date for them on Sunday. It's the Tyne and Wear derby with Sunderland. That can wait for now.
Yeah, really good defensive work from Sandro Tonali there, but it looks like he's holding his thigh. Might have just felt something go a little bit there. Yep, trying to stretch it off, but he doesn't look particularly happy, does he? And it looks like the change is imminent.
It's going to be Joe Willock who comes on for Newcastle.
¿Cuántos goles tiene total Fermín esta temporada? Bueno, no.
6 goals in the Champions League this season for Fermín López.
El pase de Gerard Martín es... Mira donde empieza a correr Fermín también.
That ball into Rafinha, the third man run beyond Sandro Tonali. For all their wonderful football, as simple as that, really. Ball into the centre of the park, a lovely little ball just played round the corner. Great run and a cool slot.
Qué golazo, es un golazo.
A look of surprise in the eyes of Hansi Flick, who's used to seeing his team of talents do that sort of thing. So Willock comes on for Sandro Tonali, and he must be a doubt for Sunday's derby.
Oh yeah, that looks like a bit of a tweak.
¡Sí! ¡Legua! ¡Vamos, Legua! ¡Vamos! ¡Dale! La necesitaba un golcito para que salga de esa mala racha. ¡Vamos, Legua! Otra asistencia de Rafinha. No, lo de Rafinha es increíble.
They're queuing up at the back post. Again, the marking isn't good enough. And Robert Lewandowski hasn't had a tremendous amount of involvement tonight. Just that, I think that one strike.
Y que sean más, que sean más.
But he's always had a knack, this guy, for being in the right place at the right time. And this time, he gets his head on that. Aaron Ramsdale flapping a little bit, not really sure who's behind him, but watch them, they're all seemingly queuing up at the back post. Tino Livramento it is who's got older Lewandowski but doesn't jump. Doesn't do enough. That's not good enough again.
Qué bien, Legua.
Defending from set plays tonight has been poor.
5 golcitos, manita.
Lewandowski heads in for 5-2. It's run away from Newcastle very quickly at the start of the second half and at the end of the first. Lewandowski's 108th goal in the Champions League. He's got the knack against opposition from the English Premier League as well. That's now 7 goals in his last 9 games against teams from that division.
Yeah, now Newcastle have to be very careful because...
No, ahora es que le vamos a meter más goles a estos cabrones. Ay, lo mataste él. Pero uy, lo que buena Rafinha, hermano. Qué bueno que es Rafinha. Rafinha está modo sexo.
Up towards Ilanga. Gordon's interested as it's played back, and it was hacked at by Garcia. He gets lucky. That didn't go straight to Ilanga. One back by Willock. Barcelona claim a foul that's not given. Barnes. Hall takes over and pulls it back. It won't reach Joelinton. And Araujo gets rid. Hall. Teasing one in. Barnes got a bit of it. Martin and Kabasi were well placed in the middle to block everything.
Tranquilo.
Touch on from Ilanga.
Bien Pedri.
Willock has pulled at Pedri. That's the decision that's been given. Sheer joy for all the Catalans in the crowd.
Yep, all the different great Barca teams down the years have always played such wonderful stuff
Ale.
It really is one of the great football stadiums in this current incarnation. They're also serving up some pretty useful stuff, aren't they?
Well, this is going to be played 13-1-13 back home for Barcelona after 2 and a bit seasons away. Whilst the building work went on, renovations, expansion, another tier being added. There's Joe Willett.
Invente, Pedri,
It's a yellow
invente.
card, having only just come into the game.
Yep. Can't grab and hang on, Joe. You've got to let go of that shirt. The referee's absolutely right to give him a yellow card.
I think that misses next match might be a little academic now.
Que pase de Gerard Martín.
Paul decides he's not going to get there, leaves it for Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is stopped by Lewis Hall. It was a good decision all round.
Bien Fermín.
Hall needs to get his next decision right. Plays the simple one for Byrne.
So typical of Champions League football in the knockout stages, what we've witnessed tonight. A really good encounter. Tight game, could have gone either way, then all of a sudden the real quality steps up and the game gets officially sort of put to bed in a 10-minute burst.
Hey!
Looking for Lewandowski.
¡Gol!
Does
¡No de
chances.
Dos de legua! Otra asistencia de Lamine Yamal. Uy, lo que se está jugando este equipo. Joder.
Sticks his back leg out and misses the ball. Then I think we all feared that this would end up in the back of the net. And Lewandowski, even
Queremos más, queremos más.
Before he actually finishes it and dispatches it in the corner. That's the mark of a proper number 9, which he's been for so many years. Get chances like that.
Lo que hace Lamine también.
It's great play from Lamine Yamal. Spins down Byrne there. It's actually Malik Diaw. Watch that leg. Once that goes out and doesn't make any contact, then the little dummy from Lewandowski. That one, whoop, and then he hits it. Brilliant goal. Brilliant finish.
Well, in the Catalan press, there were just 1 or 2 eyebrows raised about Lewandowski keeping his place by his own ridiculous standards. He's perhaps not hit the heights this season, as you can see, playing in the face masks. He's had 1 or 2 injury problems as well. But at 37 years old, he's still one of the game's great number 9s. Yep. And he's still scored 16 goals this season, including the 2 tonight.
Queremos más, muchachos, queremos más.
In Europe's Premier competition. I did say he wouldn't reach Messi's 129. I'll still stand by it for now. All change Newcastle. Sven Botman is going to come on. Oh, not all change. Nick Voltemada's putting his top layer back on. Jacob Murphy's ready.
Did the right thing there, Joe Linton, on a yellow card. Just catches Lewandowski there on the top of his foot. That could easily have been another one. That he just lost his head for a split second there. He's lucky to get away with that.
Bueno, y los cambios que van a hacer es para que no le metamos más, pero espero que le metamos más.
Get their last instruction. Joe Linton's now coming off. I wonder if that was the original intention. He is just back from another little pull of his groin, which is a long-standing problem he has. Anthony Langer is also going to go off. Well, what a night he's had.
Fantastic first 45, wasn't it, from him? When Newcastle were really competitive, very much in the game.
And those changes tell a story, because with Sven Botman coming on, it's clear that Eddie Howe's main priority now is to avoid getting absolutely ripped apart.
Yeah. I mean, is bad enough, but it doesn't tell the full story, because Newcastle have had their moments where they've been very good. They've actually defended their basics tonight, Newcastle, poorly, I think. There's been that free kick first half to the far post, then Trippier.
Bien, qué buena presión. El Barça quiere más. Así me gusta. No va a entrar Ferran. No me gusta. Ya listo. Perdimos, no van a remontar. Va a entrar Ferran. Ver a Ferran en el campo como una derrota.
I see Gavi getting ready. That would be a popular change.
No, Gavi no lo metas en este partido. Por favor, no. Ahorita no. Pues aquí le puede meter un coñazo que... Y si está fuera de forma también, no. No es lo mejor para él.
Heaviest ever defeat in European competition. And as you say, Andy, that doesn't tell the full story of it.
No.
Their last away game, they registered their biggest win. 6-1 at Karabakh. This is a little bit different.
Bien, Barcita, bien.
Yeah, they could have come here this evening and decided to bank up and sit in and frustrate and just try and hold Barcelona at bay. But they tried to make a game of it, and they certainly did. Trouble again here, 3-on-2.
Them in. Oh, stopped by Chow. It was Lamine Yamal who was the intended recipient. Now it's a Newcastle throw. And it's going to be all change. So Xavi Espar, another 18-year-old, is coming on for João Cancelo. Ferran Torres is going to replace Robert Lewandowski. And Fermin Lopez makes way for Dani Olmo to come on. So two of the main protagonists for Barcelona tonight leave the action early.
No, se fue a Fermín. No era Pedro.
Yeah, could just see there, Hansi Flick with Fermin Lopez. Says congratulations to Lewandowski, but special hug for Fermin Lopez, who was excellent this evening. So good.
Bien, Bernal. Una buena falta.
No respite historically for Newcastle either. Ferran Torres once got a hat-trick against them as a Manchester City player. Lewandowski with a classic centre-forwards performance. Relatively quiet first half. Then when brought into the game, bang, bang. A little like Harry Kane in that whenever he has an attempt on goal, it's always on target.
You think they're going to score, don't you? There's certain guys, whenever they get it in and around the box, you think it's going to end up in the net.
Ah,
no le llegó. Just a little awkward for Araujo. It's going to be a Newcastle throw-in as we approach the midway point of the second half in a tie that's well away from them now. Barcelona with a 4-goal advantage. They will get Gavi on before the end. He came on against Sevilla on Sunday for his first appearance since August. He's been out with a really bad knee injury.
Qué buen partido de Mane Bernal hoy, ¿verdad? Me está gustando bastante al lado de Pedro. Bueno, hizo gol y todo.
Bernal.
A tough part for Newcastle. Still the best part, probably 23, 24 minutes to go here.
Ramsdale picks it up just before Dani Olmo could cause him trouble. Yeah, 22 minutes plus to go, having conceded 3 in a 9-minute spell. plus side for Newcastle. Barcelona, you would think, wouldn't be quite
Ay,
so eager to get
tú,
more.
síguela tú,
Might be
Rafa.
wrong. Here's Pedri.
Oh my God.
Another chance.
Es que Ferran.
Torres has a
Es
go.
Ferran.
Found Chow in his way. Pedri.
¿Cómo vas a esperar que Ferran haga el gol?
Let the showboating, well, continue rather than begin. Xavi Espark gets it across. Too much for Torres. Pedri.
Oof.
It's well won by Ramsey. Foul on Livramento. Newcastle have a free kick.
Estamos ahí, pero marico, es que estamos como que con Ferran de delantero. Lo mejor que hay.
All part of the learning experience for Newcastle United on their journey to what they hope will be a regular spot in these sorts of games.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, is that you learn and you understand that if you just go to sleep or if you make bad decisions in the knockout phases of this competition, invariably it costs you. And that's what Newcastle have done. They've been very good first half, and as I said, the manner of some of the goals they've conceded tonight have been quite ordinary.
Uy.
Danny Olmo breaks away from Willock and looks for Rafinha. Rafinha with a run at Livramento. It's deflected. It's Byrne who has to adjust and clear. He just about does. Jacob Murphy. Livramento.
Attempts on target there for Barca. 6 of them have ended up in the back of the net.
It's a Barcelona ball.
Partidazo del Barcita.
When they're in this mood, it feels like Barcelona's ball, full stop. Highly likely to be Atletico Madrid next in line for them. Start to think about, could this young side go all the way? Oh, that's a risk. That was a mistake. It's
¡Vamos! ¡Rafa!
7 for Barcelona.
No lo puedo creer, lo que estamos viendo hoy no tiene sentido. Rafita, yo quería otro de Rafinha.
He's now made it 7, and Newcastle are handing their hosts goals on a plate.
They are. That's exactly right. Great finish from Rafinha. Jacob Ramsey trying to switch that in one from right side or left side of midfield to right fullback. It's got to get there. It's got to make it. If it gets cut out, everyone is out the game. And Rafinha.
Uf, qué bueno que es Rafinha.
He's too good a player to pass up chances like this. Look, there's that switch. It's cut out so easily. Great
Qué buena
slot.
definición también.
Lovely, cool finish.
Quiero saber qué puntuación tiene Rafinha, porque si no le dan 10.
These moments that Newcastle have handed to them, but have still finished them and punished them, has been really good from the home team tonight. Excellent stuff.
Rafinha at 30 is a player at the very peak of his powers. A hat-trick on Sunday, 2 goals tonight. 19 for the season. In the Champions League over the last couple of years, he's really turned it on. That's now 19 goals in his last 23 games in this competition.
Top stuff, isn't it? Great numbers, that. In this team, if you're a forward player, you get the ball, you get chances.
7-2.
You've got to take them, and he's getting better by the game at that.
Queremos más, queremos más, queremos más, queremos 10.
Barcelona 7, Newcastle United 2, it's 8-3 overall. What did I speculate? That Barcelona maybe would just ease off and not go for more goals, not one bit of it.
I feared actually, Guy, that it could end up like this. Once they start enjoying it, once they start playing with a smile on their face, you're in trouble.
And it's gone from Newcastle feeling as though they were going to roar into their most important home game of the season in the Premier League this weekend to a different sort of feeling mentally.
Yeah. Do you know, all the Newcastle players out there have absolutely given everything. They'd have all suffered 10 and 15-minute spells at the end of matches where they're well beaten.
7-2, no, yo no lo puedo creer.
I've had an experience quite like this one. 7-2 down to a team that are just full of goals and chances. And there's still maybe 17, 18 minutes left for play.
¿Qué pasa?
Lamine Yamal. Jacob Murphy hinders him slightly. And in fact, the flag up for offside. Newcastle free kick. Barcelona, having been asked questions in the first half, have absolutely turned it on to maximum effect in the second. And the vast majority of the 65,000 or so have revelled in every moment.
Qué locura, de verdad. 7-2, yo no lo puedo creer. Estamos viendo historia.
The president is a happy man. Maybe his words on being re-elected were absolutely right. Perhaps they will be unstoppable over the next decade. Willock's lost it.
Qué bueno que espere.
Pedri finds Dani Olmo. Livramento. That's a good ball. Jacob Murphy goes for the early one without looking. And the flag up anyway on this near side. Free kick Barca. Really hard for him now to just keep a clear head.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, emotions be running high for Eddie Howe because his team started the game really well. That man's was excellent for me, Lopez. Pick of the bunch, I think, actually, this evening. Really
Qué
good.
semanita estamos teniendo, ¿eh?
But the Newcastle
Venezuela campeón del béisbol.
game plan was a positive one. They took that out into the park. They certainly tested Barcelona at times in that first 45, but again, as I mentioned earlier, these games can get away from you so quickly.
Now the flag has stayed down this time.
Ferran, tranquilos que Ferran Torres. Claramente no va a hacer gol.
Willock's mistake and offside comes to Newcastle's aid. The timing of the run's a little ragged, the defending very ragged indeed. Only just.
Yeah, only just.
The sounds of this stadium have been missed over the last couple of years.
It's a special place, all right, this one. Been so lucky to have witnessed some amazing nights in this stadium with the likes of the great Messi, of course, and some of the players that have put that shirt on the Barca shirt have been absolute legends.
Remember the first time I got the chance to attend a game at the Camp Nou. The chapel in the tunnel area just out of the dressing rooms was the thing that really caught my attention.
Yeah.
And it's right, it is a cathedral of football.
It is.
Invente, Rafa, invente.
Here's Rafinha. Newcastle try and keep a semblance of shape. Eddie Howe saying before the game, we can't shrink. I don't think they've done that.
No.
They've just been exposed defensively, and it's happening again.
No me regale de una Lamin, que maldito pase metió Pedri, Dios mío. Lo que juega Pedrico.
He didn't actually need to take a touch.
Gordon did brilliantly there.
Great ball.
And here's Barnes. Jacob Murphy is the supporting player. Barnes. Well, you can understand. Murphy wasn't really on the front foot.
El pase que mete Pedri.
Score at the Camp Nou.
Yep, he takes a couple of touches there, doesn't he, Lamine Yamal? Maybe actually did need one to get it onto the left foot. Good stop, Aaron Ramsdale.
Just lifted his arm a fraction at the right time.
Creo que ahorita entra Gavi.
Garcia just holding his left calf. I don't think it's... Oh, it might be a problem. He's decided to take a seat. I thought he was going to just soldier on there.
No me cague, Johan.
And they've got goalkeepers on the bench from the opposite end of the experience scale. 35-year-old Wojciech Szczesny. There he is, getting himself ready. And I wouldn't have thought they'll take any chances here. And 19-year-old Diego Kochen, who's yet to make his Barcelona debut.
Yeah, that was a pretty routine stop, but he felt something there straight away, didn't he? Just in his calf.
He actually said wow as he tried to get back up.
And again, it's such a disappointment for any player right now to be coming out of this team.
Yeah, they are going to make the change. And Szczesny is the de facto number 2. Marc-Andre ter Stegen, incidentally, who had all sorts of injury problems, a bad knee injury. He's out on loan at Girona at the moment. Szczesny is the veteran who waits in the wings for this sort of opportunity and to see it through to the finish. Joan Garcia had his own knee injury trouble between September and November. Newcastle change as well. Will Osula comes on for Anthony Gordon.
Yep, had that really good chance, I felt, in the first half. Anthony Gordon didn't take it when Elanga whipped a ball across that 6-yard line, and he got there first. Just knocked it wide of the post.
Szczesny's first appearance for Barcelona since November. His move to this part of the world was a really curious one, and you can hear the reception he's getting. He's become a real cult figure. This will be his 40th game for Barca. Came out of retirement, you might remember, in the early part of last season. He'd finished at Juventus. He decided, that's it, that's me done. Packed in football altogether, but then Barcelona called his number. And he said himself, even when settled back and enjoying the comfy life, you don't say no to that.
No.
¿A quién se le ocurre decirle que no a jugar el Barcelona?
80th appearance in the Champions League.
Tú eres loco, cabrón.
Well, it was Juan Garcia looking like he's got a calf strain or a pull of some kind. It could well be that Szczesny's going to stay in between the posts now for a bit.
Feel a little bit for the young American, Diego Kochen. 19 years old, he must be thinking, if I can't get on in this game, what chance have I got? He's been a regular on the bench all season. He's from Miami, Kochen. His family moved to Spain when he was 12. Joan Garcia explains the nature of the problem to all of his teammates who are interested, and that is all of his teammates.
Yeah. Eric Garcia went off at the start of the night, didn't he, with a problem?
Muy bien, Gerard Martín.
Rafinha digs back in to try and win it back. Willock caught. It's going out for a Newcastle throw, though. Petri with a little limp away from that little skirmish. Hall to Barnes. Barnes left on the floor. Challenge of Xavi Espart. This is only his third senior appearance. It was his debut last Tuesday as a substitute in Newcastle. Another teenager, another 18-year-old.
Just thinking, Guy, there. I think if you're a season ticket holder in this stadium right now, I don't think you're going home and saying, oh, that was a bit boring, or that was hard work. Whatever this Barca team achieve, whatever they are so good to watch.
Yamal gets it back to Espart. Now it's Kubasi. Keep forgetting he's 19, the centre-back. Hansi Flick had a lovely line on him last week saying he's at Lamin's level, but in defence. Just as important to us. This team stays together. It's a frightening prospect for the rest of the continent.
It is. And it's got the capabilities of doing that. Lewandowski, João Cancelo, as you said. So many of them, though, that are low 20s and younger.
There's Gavi on the bench. Mark Casado, a substitute. Rooney Bargi, the talented Swede. And Marcus Rashford as another effort goes in, and second attempt, Ramsdale has it. Lamine Yamal asking a question of the Newcastle keeper once more.
Nice strike. Ramsdale just for a split second thought that might be sneaking out of his hands. But we've seen some big scores over the last couple of nights, haven't we? Obviously, Sporting, and the way they turned that one round against Bodo Glimt. PSG, obviously, at Chelsea yesterday.
Pelota ahí. Mete un golcito más, pues.
4 minutes to go, plus the time to be added on, and there will be a decent chunk. Quite a few substitutes we've seen. Not to mention the delay to the game that 4 goals brings about. 4 second-half goals.
Fue mano, ¿no?
I don't think it's an attempt to run down the clock. No need for that. Chesney. Listen to how popular he's made himself in a relatively short space of time. A little bit of novelty factor as Dani Olmo is dispossessed. Played through towards Osula, now Ramsey. Barnes. Osula, who is all energy, all action. Provided one of the moments of the Newcastle season with his individual solo winner, a beauty against Manchester United recently. Thrown in towards Botman, Chow and Byrne. That one's come off Araujo, who's been poleaxed by it. It's going to be a corner, but Araujo will need to be tended to first.
Yeah, Jacob Ramsey, it was actually who hit it hard too.
Le pega la parte de atrás de la cabeza, la oreja.
Flush on the jaw, that one.
What will be the Newcastle response, Andy, to this? It's a time, isn't it, to be pragmatic, philosophical, and take it for what it is.
Yeah, look, again, I think over the 2 matches, the first game was very evenly contested. There were other opportunities for Newcastle that, on reflection, they needed before they came to Spain. But tonight, it's just got away from them.
And that's Barnes. And straight over the bar.
Yeah, just got away from them in the key moments. You can't give poor goals away in the knockout phases of the Champions League. You really can't.
And the margin of victory, just a bit of a misnomer, because obviously they've got to chase the game.
Correct. You know, as you said, 3 in 9 minutes, second half, absolutely knocked all the wind out the Newcastle sails. I think when they go back and analyse the 2 matches, they'll realise that they were pretty good, Newcastle.
Certainly going forward, which is what they're trying to do again here with Willock. Lewis Hall.
Bien.
And Szczesny practically falls on it. Araujo furious there wasn't a flag for offside.
Good stop. Szczesny, right-footed strike from Lewis Hall was a good one too. Looks like Araujo still feeling the effects of that bang to the side of the head.
Well, they've used all the subs and all the windows, but if it is a concussion substitute, then they can make another one, I would think.
Yeah.
Newcastle United supporters, I dare say there's a
Si se
good
acaba, ¿qué va a
number in there
hacer?
who've
¿Será
made this
meterme al
trip
Bernal para allá atrás y
twice
me está
before.
casado?
1997, a 1-0 defeat in the group stage of the Champions League, their first adventure in the competition. And then in 2022, a 3-1 defeat, or rather 2002. And the referee's decided no time to be added on, he's blown. Barcelona scoring 7 goals in a blistering second half that saw them hit 4. It's been a remarkable game, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a wonderful game. Great tie. Really enjoyed last week. Tonight, first 45 minutes as good as I've seen for a while. And then second half, it's all about levels and gears to find. And Newcastle couldn't quite add to that first 45 minutes. And Barça just went up 2 or 3 notches and ran away with it in the end. But that doesn't tell the whole story of this tie. It was very, very evenly contested and really good.
Bueno, ganaron 7 a fucking 2, muchachos.
With defeat to Barcelona, who march on to the
Partidazo, la
quarterfinals,
verdad.
and maybe 2 steps beyond that as well. This is a young team to watch and enjoy.
Rafinha yo creo que terminó como el MVP porque lo que juega Rafinha no tiene sentido. Se viene la Champions.